If you do not know how to leverage your personal brand, or God forbid, you have not already established a personal brand, we're going to talk about it today. All right, I'm back. And today I am tackling a subject that is so important that I fear people are getting it wrong. I am certain you're probably one of those people that is getting it wrong. So I'm setting the record straight today. We are going to talk about it and we are going to get it figured out today. If you do not know how to leverage your personal brand, or God forbid, you have not already established a personal brand, we're going to talk about it today. And I'm going to give you 3 elements that it should include when you are leveraging it, when you're using it. And I don't mean just for your marketing. I'm talking about in life, period. My goal here on this channel is to not only help you be the boss that I know you are, the CEO who is constantly evolving and being open to failing forward, but also to show you how to live your life in harmony with your business. We do not do business in a linear fashion where we work, then we do life. We work, we do life. No, hon, we are doing life and working all at the same time. It is a congruent activity. You need to understand how to leverage your personal brand, how to put feet to it and make it work for you everywhere you go. That sounds like something you want to know about. Then keep watching this video, because at the end, I'm going to talk to you about exactly how I can help you get this for yourself. You don't have to reinvent the wheel, sis. I've got it all figured out. Trust me, I've got 20 years of experience getting this stuff all together. I'm going to give you the benefit of that. So just stick around to the end and I'll tell you all about it. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you my definition of personal branding. It is a verb and we're going to talk about it as such. Now, you do have to have established a personal brand, which I can definitely help you with. But once you've done that, we got to figure out how to walk this thing out everywhere and have this harmony in our life and business. So the official definition that I'm going to share with you, that I have adopted and that I share with my customers and my clients, is this. It describes the process by which individuals and entrepreneurs differentiate themselves and stand out from a crowd. They do this by identifying and articulating their value proposition and leveraging it across platforms with consistent messages and images to achieve a specific goal. Now, let's go ahead and break this puppy down. There are 3 elements in here that I want you to understand so that you know how to leverage who you are. But first, you got to know who you are. That's the key to this whole thing. But don't worry, I have got your back. Stick around to the end. As a matter of fact, type in the comment box below if you are ready to get to moving, put some feet to your personal brand. So say I'm ready to put feet to my personal brand so that I know you are ready. All right, so the first element that we are going to talk about is element number 1, and that is you. Honey, you are the first element of your personal branding situation. You got to identify what makes you tick, why you do what you do, what your strengths are, identifying your personal framework, constructing your personal framework so that you know exactly how you need to operate to do and be your best in all situations, your circumstances for optimal success. And then we can determine how we want to use that thing. How do we want to show up and show out for our business, okay? It says in the definition that it describes personal branding is a process, which means it's not something that is stagnant. It is ongoing. It is the process by which individuals, you, that's who you are, differentiate yourself. What makes you different? What makes you special? I talked about this in the past, that we are the sum of our experiences, our influences, our passions, and our perspectives. Nobody has that same combination, which means you are a unique creature. No one is like you. The goal in leveraging that uniqueness is to understand how you want it to show up in the world. Where do you want to use it? So the first things first, you are the first element of personal branding and leveraging yourself across these various platforms. This is the most important element, guys. This is the most important, you, which is why I created this program, because I have watched so many videos, gone to so many webinars, taken so many courses where one of the things that they all say is, oh, just be yourself. Just be yourself. Oh, you have to be authentic. Authentic is a buzzword, but it is a true word. Oh, just have organic conversations. Just, be yourself. These are all buzzwords that happen, and a lot of people do not know how to do it. Are you one of them? Are you someone who's just listens to that and okay, I'm trying to be myself, but I'm also trying to do it the way I see Susie do it over here, or I'm trying to be myself, but I'm also trying to do that thing the way I saw them do it. Well, that's not being yourself, okay? Because that thing may not even be for you. So again, the first element is you and understanding what your unique value proposition is, what your fingerprint is, that combination of things that I just discussed that we do talk about and we help you create inside the program. The very first thing, like I said, that differentiating yourself, uniqueness. Let's look at some things that happen when you actually do create your personal framework and you identify what that unique thing is, what your boundary is, where you are showing up and doing and being your best. Number one, fear. Fear kind of goes out the window because a lot of the things that you're afraid of doing are because you're not understanding or operating within your personal framework and know where those boundaries are in terms of your strengths and your limitations. So when you've identified your personal framework, fear can sometimes be minimized drastically because you're not even approaching some of those things that are going to take you outside of your zone of genius or outside of your element. Now, it is good to be outside of your element sometimes to stretch yourself, but not to scare yourself, right? So if you know where those lines are, you are careful not to cross them. You can get close to them, but you don't necessarily have to cross them. So the fear of doing the wrong thing or not doing it right, that kind of goes away because, again, it's the way you want to do it. Also, when you have created that personal framework and you're identifying your uniqueness, you are going to no longer be intimidated by what you see other people do because you know that what you're doing is awesome in and of itself and that people would be doing themselves a good service if they were to work with you, if they were to take you up on your offer to help them with whatever it is. And your mindset goes from selling to serving and you want to help people do and be their best as well. So you're no longer really intimidated by people around you. You recognize that there is no competition because, like I said, nobody has that same combination, right? So your unique fingerprint on this world can definitely serve people in the same industry as you. You could work with people that do the exact same thing as you because you're not doing it the same way. Again, that fingerprint is yours and yours alone. And you can kind of eliminate that whole idea of imposter syndrome or those limiting beliefs because when you're operating inside your personal framework and you know who you are, you know your unique value, and you know how you want to use that to differentiate yourself, then you're no longer afraid and you don't have to worry about I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough. You are good enough because nobody else can do it like you. So you're actually the only one that can do it. Element number 2 is communication. This is so huge, guys. Did you realize that communication is 55% nonverbal? That means that people are looking at you when you walk in a room and you are communicating with them at that moment. People are going to your website and looking to see who you are. You are communicating with them at that moment. When you're in a meeting, your facial expressions, the way your hand gestures, the way you're sitting in your chair, it is all communicating. This is so important when we go to do social media because we are showing ourselves on social media with our images. We are giving people a message through the images that we choose, through the way we take photographs and the images that we share in our feeds and the videos that we share. Actually, we are communicating a message. We are always talking, so we want to get that narrative clear. We want to know what it is we're saying to people and why we're saying it and how it's going to affect them most and help them make the best possible decision. So communication is just so important because in the definition that I shared with you, what it says is it articulates. Now, the definition of articulate is the act of being clear. So that means we've got to clearly communicate, not just communicate, right? So the words that come out of our mouth don't just have to be clear. The way we look, the way we present ourselves when our mouth is not a part of the equation. People need to clearly understand who you are, even in that. That's why your wardrobe is so important. The way you pull yourself together is so important. The way you organize things as you bringing people on. When I do my podcast interviews, I have a process that I put people through where I send them information, I send them baseline questions, I give them the whole gamut of sort of what they can expect with my podcast interview. And I have had so many compliments on that process because a lot of people do not do that. So it communicates a message. Even the way I'm organized and the way I run my business communicates a message. Sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad. I've had one such customer recently who got upset because I was putting boundaries away around the way she was doing business with me, the way she interacted with my brand, but it was because I needed certain things in order for it to go the way I wanted it to go and give her the best possible business. And she was frustrated by some of the boundaries that I was setting with her. But it was important for me to create those circumstances for optimal success so that I could do my best for her. Being communicative, being able to convey the messages that you need to convey clearly is extremely important. Some of the symptoms that you may not be communicating clearly for your business is that you're constantly getting frustrated. Your customers or your contractors are getting frustrated with you because you're having to do a ton of revisions, or maybe you are not getting their process right. You're not giving them what they've asked you for, or they're not giving you what you've asked them for, or people are frustrated at what's showing up on the invoice because they feel like things were not communicated properly. It could be a misperception. Maybe they didn't understand the process. Maybe they didn't understand what you said. Maybe you said it, but you didn't say it clearly enough for them to understand. So there was some misperceptions happening there. Maybe you're not managing expectations well, so people are getting frustrated with you because you've not shared with them exactly what they can expect from you. Your customer experience is not a positive one, so maybe that's a process that you need to work on to communicate a little bit more effectively and efficiently so that people understand what's going on. Or maybe you have low engagement on social media. People aren't talking back. They're not liking. They're not clicking the button. This has been an issue for me in the past. I'm not gonna lie. And it's not because I don't communicate well. It's because of what I'm trying to communicate. People don't understand the importance and the value of it, which is why I'm here today, sis, trying to tell you that personal branding is an action. It's you moving into leveraging who you are across these different platforms. So it's setting boundaries, managing expectations, creating systems, processes. It's communicating effectively, clearly, efficiently, all the things that are not just posting on social media or doing a Facebook ad. These are all important things that are part of your business that people are not talking about. But I talk about it inside of my program, and I share with you how to go from not understanding any of this or having any method to your madness to actually being the CEO, working on your business, not in your business, working smarter, not harder. Well, the last element is to leverage your personal brand across platforms with consistent messages and images to achieve a specific goal. So it's really about manipulating the marketing mediums to get your message out there, right? How do you want to share? How do you want to distribute your value? Well, one of the things that I think some people are getting wrong and they're not really thinking about is there needs to be some hero piece of content that you are sharing with people on a regular basis, on a consistent basis. And by hero content, I mean a blog, a YouTube video, a podcast, an email that goes out. These are core pieces of content that showcase your credibility. They showcase your expertise. They get people to thinking about how they need to make change and how you're the change that they need to see. And it just really does provide them an opportunity to get to know you better and know how valuable you could potentially be to them in their business. So when you are leveraging that, what you're doing is you're creating it first, but then you have to distribute it everywhere. And it's important to understand you, when we go back to that first element, to understand what you like, what you enjoy doing the most. If you are not someone who likes to be on camera, then YouTube is just not for you. So don't get on YouTube, right? That is just kind of the way that works. So you want to know you, again, that very first element, to understand how you need to, first of all, what type of hero content you need to create, and then how you should distribute that content to make sure that you are reaching the masses and getting the word out, how you are leveraging it across platforms, okay? So again, it's about manipulating the marketing mediums in a way that creates not only a reputation so people get to know you for your expertise, but also building relationships with people by getting them into communities and talking to them, and then letting them purchase your product, converting them to the sale, and then building that rapport on the back end of that sales funnel where they have gotten your content, they've gotten your product or service, they're amazed by it, and you continue to provide them with great customer service and a great customer experience to the point that now you have rapport and they are sharing you with other people, becoming affiliate and helping you grow your business even more and get even more exposure. That's what that can look like when you are leveraging, moving it, putting feet to it, and sharing that content, that credibility, that expertise with people. You're not just holding on to it, but you are putting feet to it. We all know that people do business with those they know, like, and trust. We've talked about that a lot here as well. And the best way to get people to know you is to get out there, to distribute your content in the right places, to build those relationships inside those communities as well. So some symptoms that you may not be leveraging your brand as you think you are you're missing some opportunities. That could be one thing. And the opposite of this is feeling like you need to take every dollar that someone is putting into your possession, right? And you don't have to. Don't allow your attitude or your mindset of scarcity to have you picking up dollars that you don't need to pick up from people that don't need to be your clients because you're not bossing in the right stage, so that you'll know what stage you should be bossing in and you don't pick up the wrong dollar. A symptom of an inability to leverage your personal brand could be find yourself picking up the wrong dollar and you just hate, you want to fire this client. Maybe it's ineffective networking, right? For the purpose of building a network. Maybe you're not saying the right things. You're not qualifying the people the right way so that you're creating a circle. We are the average average of the people that we are around. So if you find that your level of people in your circle is not very high quality, you're gonna be the average. So you're gonna be the top of that food chain, or you're gonna be the bottom of that food chain, but you're the average. And if you're finding that you're not getting quality leads, quality communication, quality contractors, partnerships, collaborations, it's possible that you need to move on to the next circle. Or maybe you're operating with an undefined niche. Maybe you find that, again, you're not bossing in the right stage. I don't know if I have it up yet, but I'm working on a quiz that will show you exactly what stage of bossing you need to be operating in. So I don't know from which direction I'm gonna take it. It could be that and I might do two, because I want you to know what stage of bossing you're in, but I also want you to know what stage of bossing you should be trying to attract as your client. It might just be one and I just give you a summary. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. Would you rather two quizzes, or would you rather one quiz that tells you what stage of bossing you're in, and then a summary that tells you who you should be going, which stage you should be looking for as clients? Let me know in the comments below. So that does it. I just dissected my personal favorite definition of personal branding, where we are taking who you are and we are putting feet to it. I talked to you about the 3 different elements of how you can leverage your personal brand. Well, I talked to you about the 3 different elements of personal branding, i.e. you, number 1. Number 2, that's like you are the unique thing. You are what needs to be differentiated. And we talked about you getting that personal framework together so you know exactly how to do that. Next is communication. You've got to be able to articulate yourself clearly and articulate what it is you are doing to the masses, for the masses, so that you can attract the masses. And then lastly, you need to be able to leverage, move through, put feet, put action to how you are sharing that with the world, through distribution, through networking, through getting out there and gaining exposure, because you want to build a reputation for yourself. You want to create those relationships as people get to know you, and then you want to convert them and make them loyal followers and build that rapport with them so that they can help you grow your business exponentially. If you think this video was helpful, please give it a big thumbs up. That actually helps me. I am trying to grow my channel, and you can help with that by subscribing to my channel and hitting that bell notification so you never miss an episode. Now that I've gotten all of that out of the way, please follow me over on Instagram as well so that you are caught up on the lives that we'll be doing, because I am launching a program at the end of November, Cyber Monday specifically, and I want you to be involved, sis. I'm going through all of this. Listen, personal branding is a beast. It can be if you are not familiar with how the elements work together and how to create the various elements, and I'm walking you through that in the very first module of the program. So you're gonna know not only what your personal framework is, but you're also gonna know where it came from. You're gonna know how to leverage it, how to use it. You're gonna know how to create those circumstances for optimal success, manage the volume of your personality, and apply it to everything you do, because we don't live our lives in a line. We don't wake up in the morning and step 1 is we go to work. Step 2, we come home and we work. All the things are happening at the same time. So you've got to learn how to be yourself in every area of your life and business. So girl, you can get rid of that overwhelm and stress trying to like turn things on and off depending on where you are at what given time in the day. You could just be you. I am teaching you how to do that inside of my program. I'll be sharing the name with you very, very soon. So stick around, or I'll probably be announcing it over on YouTube or over on Instagram or inside our email list. So make sure that you are subscribed inside the CEO Circle, where we're changing mindsets. That's phenomenal. Or you can join us inside of our Boss Talk, which is a forum on my website. That will be linked down below. Grab my book. That's linked down below. But most importantly, get on the reservation list so that you can get all of the discounts, or at least qualify for all of the discounts coming at the end of the month, whether you decide to take the program or not, which I'm sure you will, because it's an awesome program. But you won't get those fantastic discounts if you're not on the reservation list. So make sure you get on the reservation list. There are no obligations to do anything, but just be there in case when you're ready, you can pull the trigger and get great discounts. Okay, all right, that does it for me today. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll see you again next week. Bye.